Eukel Trust for choosing me for this wonderful award this evening, and also thank you for giving me an excuse to buy a new dress. I really appreciate it. If you ask any of my students, I'm definitely known as a site fashionista, right, Karen? Yeah. So I am absolutely honored to be here this evening. I'm honored to share this evening with my fellow educators, with my administrators from my district, and also my fellow teacher nominees, Kathy and Stacy, and any other educator in the room. It's a very difficult job we do. We do it from the heart, and getting an accolade like this is the moment of a lifetime. So they told you a little bit about me, and before I get into my speech, I'd just like to tell you I've been teaching for 15 years every day. That has been a blessing. It's a difficult job, but I enjoy doing it. I love the students that I serve on a daily basis. I love the district and the families that I serve, and it truly is something that I believe that I was called to do. So I'd like to speak to you from the heart this evening and tell you a little bit about my story. It's kind of been alluded to in my introduction. So I would like to tell you that you never really know a person until you know their story. I am a wife, a mother, a sister, a best friend, and a teacher. I am a child who was a product of a broken home. I was raised by an incredible mother who loved my brother and I above all else. She taught me to have courage, to give to others from the heart, and that I could do anything. As Juliet told you, I attended 14 different schools, 5 of them high schools. I understand what it means to be the new kid on campus and what it means to struggle. It might also surprise you to know that I was expelled in the 7th grade for fighting. It's true. Yeah, I know. I was a bruiser. Right, Heather? My best friend is here since 7th grade, and she knows that me. I thank the Lord for that teacher that saw me beyond that behavior of a young girl who was broken inside. That was a turning point in my life when Dr. Kathleen Croy took the time to look beyond my actions to see my potential. She taught me that I wasn't a product of my consequences and that I did have the power to make my life better. I am the teacher I am today because I believe that you can make a difference for every student if you take the time to get to know them and what's driving their actions. We must learn to listen to students and to meet them where they are emotionally and academically, instead of expecting them to be what we want them to be. Kids don't care what you know until they know that you care. Students come to my classroom with all sorts of motivators, detractors, and emotional baggage in tow. I make sure that students know that more than anything, my first priority is to honor them as a young adult. I let students get to know me by telling them about my academic and emotional struggles. I help them to realize that they don't have to be a product of their consequence, but rather they can use those setbacks to help to motivate them to do better. I was one of those struggling students who was struggling just to keep it together. And it was that one teacher that tried to figure out why. That moment has made a difference in my life, and I am always trying to pay that moment forward. I believe that I can make a difference for every student because she did for me. I will do whatever it takes to help them to be the best that they can be. I let my life serve as a testimony to what they can overcome. As a mother and a teacher, it would be foolish for me to assume that they are all going to get the same level of support at home, or that they have the same level of resources available to them. How can I expect a student to learn if they are hungry, worried about a parent's health, or even where they might sleep tonight? I know from firsthand experience that hardship at home can alter the emotional experience of a student. As a teacher, I have to help them see that this struggle too will pass and that it will get better. For me, one of those moments was January 8th of 2008, the day that my mother died after a very long struggle with her health. She was 54. It was the day before school started, and I didn't feel like I could go on, but I was faced with a choice, and I knew that if I could serve in this example and show up and surmount that insufferable sorrow that was freezing me in my tracks, that I could be my mother's legacy. I chose hope, I chose to live, and I chose to be my mother's legacy. I dedicate the remainder of my speech to my mother and to my students. Live life to its fullest. Life is filled with moments. There will be good times that you wish would never end, days filled with hope and wonderful memories. also deliver moments that are simply unbearable. I would love to believe that the students' hearts have never been fractured, but I know that sorrow was not a new emotion for some of them. I try to teach them that each moment in life is meant to strengthen their resolve. I try to teach them to not let the fear that something might happen keep them from making something happen in their life. Expect more from yourself than you expect from others. So often these days, people look to the easiest way to get something done. They figure out the minimal requirements for a task. They set the bar low, always assuming that someone else will take care of it or that someone else will get it done. I compel my students to set their bar high, to push themselves to attain it. The reward for perseverance is the pride that you take in knowing that you have accomplished what others never even attempted. Give more to others than you take for yourself. So many people in life assume that it's not their problem. They simply walk by rather than offering assistance. Does it really take that much longer to greet someone, to open the door, or to let someone over in traffic? Practice random acts of kindness. They will bring you great joy, and that moment may be the difference for someone who is feeling lost, broken, or alone. I know that it was for me. You will never know the impact you have had on another person. We all have something to give. Give of your time, give of your heart, and remember that it's important to speak life into other people. Accept your failures. Life is filled with times that you seem to fall short and not meet the goals that you have set for yourself or others have set for you. Get up, wipe off the failure, and use it to motivate you to do better the next time. The only true errors that we make in life are the mistakes that we refuse to fix. Choose wisely. Remember that every choice has a consequence. Don't be fooled into believing that you won't have to pay those consequences. And remember that the people you love will also bear the weight of your choices. Will you do what is right, or will you do what everybody else is doing? I compel you to listen for the small voice that guides your actions. When faced with a decision, think of all the possible outcomes and make a choice with confidence and a sense of peace. And lastly, yield to your destiny. Life is a series of separate moments that unite in an amazing outcome. The 7th grade me couldn't have imagined the life that I lead today. None of my teachers would have expected me to do what I do today. With the exception of a few, they didn't realize my full potential. In the fall of 1998, I started teaching. I have never looked back, and I know that I'm living my destiny. Don't assume that you know where life will lead. Listen for that small voice. Use your struggles to strengthen you and yield to your destiny. I would like to thank my husband Christopher and my daughter Victoria and my family for their unwavering support. I am honored to share this evening with my fellow colleagues, who I brought with me this evening because I believe that this is an accolade that I need to share with them because we are definitely part of a village. I accept this award in honor of my students who teach me to persevere, who push me to do my best, and I know that their success in life is a blessing to me. And I can only hope that our time together has also been a blessing to them. Thank you very much.